Hello and welcome back. That's right, well, more welcome back to me because I am back now. And today's video, we are going to talk about the top 10, well, my top 10 movies of 2019. What movies did I love the most? These are not necessarily the best movies of the year. These are my favorites, basically. So these are my top 10 movies of the year. So let's discuss, because there's someone's in here that some people are not gonna agree with. So let's get right to it. Okay, so we're coming in at number 10. It's going to be John Wick 3. I mean, it's John Wick 3. This is just everything I wanted it to be and more. I loved it so much. I love it so much. It is fun, entertaining action. And that's all I want from a John Wick film. It's just entertainment. And it delivered. We got to see more lore behind it. And it was awesome. I mean, the fighting choreography is absolutely insane in these movies. And to think that we couldn't get any better than John Wick 2 and 1, well, they went up another notch. So I'm very excited for John Wick 4. This has even made me more excited for it, and now I expect even more from John Wick 4. But John Wick 3 is just so good, so much fun, so much entertainment. So it is number 10 of 2019. Number 9 is going to be Ad Astra. I mean, Brad Pitt, absolutely amazing. This is a very slow burn movie. It is slow. A lot of people don't like it, and I can understand why they didn't like it, because it is considered boring, because it's not high paced, not like fast action or anything like that. It is a slow burn character study of the character, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it so much. I was absolutely captured. I was captured in this film. I loved it. I loved it. So number 9, Ad Astra. Number 8 is going to be Avengers Endgame. I mean, I grew up with the MCU. We have been building to this point. And yes, there is a lot of plot holes. Yes, this is a flawed movie. I don't give a fuck. I love this film. I loved it. The last hour is the absolute most perfect hour of any film I've ever seen. It's just everything I wanted. The first 2 hours are a bit slower, not as much action, but when you hit that last hour, whew, I mean, what more do you want? Mjolnir, Cap with Mjolnir, just the portals, everything about this was just perfect. So number 8, I mean, it had to be Endgame. I mean, you can't have a top 10 without Endgame. It's the perfect way to cap off the 11 years of the MCU, the 23 movies of the MCU, capped off perfectly. So, number 8, Avengers Endgame. Number 7, maybe a controversial one, but it is Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. I absolutely love this film. I've seen it twice now, and I loved it even more the second time. Yes, it is flawed. Yes, there are some things that I didn't thoroughly like the, you know, certain things. I won't spoil it. There's certain things in the movie that I didn't personally think were executed properly. However, I was never bored. It's fast-paced action, just absolutely balls to the wall. Kylo Ren has a great character arc. Rey is even more, like, you understand more about her and that, and they build her character better. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan. My favorite movies are Star Wars, and to cap off the Skywalker saga, yeah, I mean, I'm happy with it. Cool. It is what it is, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't complain. So I'm not one of those people that didn't like it. I actually really like it, but it is a flawed movie, and I agree with that. But, I mean, number 7, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. Number 6 is Zombieland 2. I mean, I love the first Zombieland. The second one was even better. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was just 10 years I waited for this film. 10 years. And we finally got the sequel to it, and it delivered on every aspect I wanted it to. They only had one problem with it, and that was we didn't see one of the zombie types. So who knows, we might get Zombieland 3 and see that. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. To see these characters interact again was so good. They were funny. Woody Harrelson is just absolutely so good. I mean, he's phenomenal in this film, and it was so good seeing them interact as they have become older, and now they're not, you know, they've now developed throughout. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. And number 6 is Zombieland 2. Number 5, Spider-Man Far From Home. I mean, loved it. I love Spider-Man Far From Home. I mean, Tom Holland is fantastic as Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Jake Gyllenhaal stole the show through his character of Quentin Beck and Mysterio. Just absolutely great performance. Yes, there is some flaws in the character in that. They could have made him a bit more compelling. But for me, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I had no problems with this film. I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed this film. The action sequences were so good. And yeah, so Spider-Man Far From Home comes in at number 5 for me. Number 4 is a movie called Dragon Ball Super Broly. Yes, in America it came out last year, but in Australia it came out January, so I'm adding it to this. And this is an absolute freaking masterpiece of a fucking anime movie. I absolutely love it. I've watched it too many times now. Just the way they redid the Broly character is compelling. It was awesome. You had him go after Vegeta rather than go after Goku, which makes more sense because Vegeta's the one whose father was the king of the sand, so it makes sense that they go after him and not Goku, because that fucking first Broly, ooh, Goku's crying, was fucking stupid. This made more sense. It was compelling. It was awesome. You see Frieza at his best, manipulating situations to try and benefit him, and we got to see Gogeta Blue. What more do you want? What more do you want? So number 4, Dragon Ball Super Broly. Number 3 is going to be Danger Close, The Battle of Long Tan. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed this film. This is a war film. I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. It was compelling. Again, I mean, my father went to war, and I have other families that have been to wars and that, so this one hit a bit harder, a bit deeper, and it is an Australian film, so you see what these people, this is based on a true story, where they went through at the Battle of Long Tan. It is awesome, it is compelling, the characters are great, and you really see the mateship behind where they say they never want to leave, and it's either they all come back or none of them come back. Like, you see that side of it, and it's just absolutely amazing. I highly recommend, if you haven't seen it yet, Danger Close, Battle of Long Tan is freaking amazing. It is really good, and it's my 3rd favourite film of the year. Number 2 is a Netflix film, Marriage Story. This film, to me, is absolutely amazing. You see these two characters, Scarlett Johansson's character and Adam Driver, who are both absolutely sensational. They are sensational in this film. Like, I mean, they are freaking good. Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, I mean, they could be in the conversations for an Oscar. I mean, they are that good of a performance, and they capture you into this, like, you feel like you're in there with them as they deal through this divorce they are going through, and you see how much it really destroys each of them and what lengths it pushes both of them to go to, and it is very compelling. I made it all the way through the movie until the end scenes with the kid and Adam Driver sitting there on the bed reading the letter from the start of the movie. And that killed me. That absolutely broke me. That broke me so hard. And to see that people actually go through this sort of stuff is so sad. Like, to see that it can get to that certain point. But at the end of the day, cooler heads did prevail in this film, and it is absolutely brilliant. If you haven't seen Marriage Story, it's on Netflix now. Watch it. It is just absolutely so good. It is so good, and it's my 2nd favourite film of the year. Now we move into some honourable mentions. These are the ones that were on the edge of making the top 10, but didn't, because I can't fit every movie into the top 10. But we've got Shazam. Absolutely love it. Fun, awesome superhero film. Booksmart, I thought was absolutely fantastic, and I thoroughly enjoyed that coming to age story. The Lion King, the remake, not many, some like it's split 50-50. People hated it, people loved it. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Took me back to my childhood, and yeah, I mean, what more can I say about it? Rocketman, absolutely loved it. Taron Egerton. Egerton, is it? I think it's Egerton or Egerton. One or two. I don't know. But Taron was absolutely amazing. He was amazing. He stole the absolute show. That it was fun, awesome, and you saw Elton John at his real, like, I don't know, uncensored or whatever, but that was him, and, you know, kudos to him. I have mad respect for him, to showing him to paint himself out to be the bad guy. Mad respect to Elton John, but it was fun as well. And finally, Toy Story 4, which I thought was absolutely amazing. It is my favourite Toy Story of the franchise, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, so they are the honourable mentions. Now we move to number 1. Most people probably already know what it is, and number 1 movie of the year of 2019 for me is Joker. This movie to me is just absolutely a masterpiece. Absolute masterpiece. A perfect character study of someone who is mentally broken in a broken society, where he has to build himself up being mentally broken through a society that doesn't give a fuck about him. And Joaquin Phoenix, to me, granted, I haven't seen every movie. It's impossible to see every movie in the world right now. It's impossible to see every movie that comes out this year. No movie reviewer has seen every single movie. But for me, Joaquin Phoenix is my favourite to win the Oscar. I think he probably edges Adam Driver from Marriage Story. Personally, I think Joaquin Phoenix deserves the Oscar for this performance. It's unreal. He took it to another level, and I thoroughly enjoyed this film. So there you go. Just remember, again, I haven't seen every single movie. It's impossible for a movie reviewer of any stature to see every movie. It is impossible. There's that many movies that have come out that we just don't. Some movies here in Australia aren't even out yet. They don't come out until next year. Like 1917 is not even out yet. It comes out in January. So unfortunately, I haven't seen it yet. So I can't make a judgment on putting it in here. I know some people it's considered one of the best films of the year, but I haven't seen it. So don't criticize me and say, oh, you're not even pro. These are just the movies. I've seen over 60 movies or something this year, but I haven't seen them all. So, but this is my top 10, so let me know in the comments, what are your top 10 movies of 2019? What are your favourites? And I would love to hear it all. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Oh yeah, and, you know, don't forget, follow me on social media. Links in the description below for extra content as well, especially Instagram. There will be extra content on there, especially in 2020. There's going to be a lot more content coming out to there. Yeah, so make sure you like, subscribe, and yeah, whatever. Have yourselves a lovely day, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace out.